workshop number 1. We talked about it a little bit over the last week. It helps you learn how to get upside down, but this is the thing. We're actually doing a second installment of it. So it won't be the same workshop. If you had attended the first one, you're still able to attend the second one, but we'll still be learning the skill sets necessary to get upside down. So the thing is, here in one of our regular public classes, we don't actually get to all of the different ways that you could get upside down, simply because, you know, we have 60 minutes and there are a lot of other fun things that we want to do. But if you're really interested in learning how to get upside down, and this is for any level of practitioner, whether you're like, I could be upside down all day, or I'm potentially thinking about never, ever, ever in my life being upside down, well, that's great. This workshop is for you. So what is the date for that? April 1st, 2 to 4 p.m. Yes, it's 2 hours long. No, you won't be upside down the entire 2 hours. I pinky swear, promise. But you will get to learn a lot of cool, fun tricks. And this is the thing. If you're like, all I want to do is core exercises all day long, you'll never find a better core exercise than being upside down. Ask anybody who went to the workshop this past weekend. They will attest to that. Also, shoulders. All right, that's it. Let's do what we came here to do. Child's pose. Toes together, knees out wide, fingertips to the head of your mat. That's it. And you know what we start with here. Take your breath in, sigh it out. On your next inhale, walk your fingertips as far forwards as what they'll go. Exhale, press your sits bones back. You're creating this long, flexible spine as the basis for your whole practice right here. Inhale, get that good length. Exhale, sits bones down. One more breath here. And on your next breath in, we'll come up to downward facing dog. In your down dog, we're going to start matching our movement with our breath. So on our inhale, take your right leg straight up into the air. Now, I want you to press your heel towards the far side of your mat so that you get the opportunity to stretch from your fingers all the way back through this heel. Take a nice full breath in. Let it go. Good job. One more time. Inhale. This time, exhale. Bring your knee to your nose, pressing up through your shoulder blades. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, nice and slow. Knee to right elbow. We're going to take a second to hover here. Hold, hold, hold. Inhale, press it back. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow now. This is the tricky one. So hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, press it back. And now we'll switch feet. Right foot on the ground, left foot comes up into the air. Yes, taking the time to create the movements. Take your breath in. Exhale, knee to nose, nice and slow. Inhale, press it back. Exhale, knee to elbow, using all those belly muscles. Hold, hold, hold. Inhale, press it back. Last one. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow. Stay. Inhale, press back. All right, both feet can come to the ground now. Let's inhale up on your tippy toes. Exhale, let your heels settle. Now we're going to walk feet to hands. Halfway lift when you get there. Ragdoll. Yep, let your head drop down forwards. You can take the rock from side to side. Whatever it is, melt the four corners of your feet down into the mat right here. Hug your leg muscles, skin to muscle to bone. Inhale, roll to stand. Take extended mountain. And exhale your hands to heart center. Now, I explained this to my class yesterday, but we've worked with a nonprofit in the past who's done a lot of work in Somalia. And this is the thing. In certain cultures, it's not necessarily appropriate to om. So here's the thing. If you hate oming and it's really not your thing that you want to do in the morning, One big extended yawn. It's about setting your breath pace with everybody. So here it goes. We're going to take a breath in, 3 ohms. Inhale, reach up. Fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Chaturanga, slow exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Pull it in. Exhale. 2 more times. In. Out. Once more. Inhale. Bend your knees. Exhale. To hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Take extended mountain. Breathe in all the way up. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale. We're going to take 3 breaths here now. Start thinking about pressing through your pointer fingers and setting your sits bones to the back of your mat. That's it. 1 more breath in and out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Reach up and back now. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Moving with your breath. Up dog and into downward facing dog. See if you can really pay attention to the foundation of this pose. Not just your fingers melting into the mat, but your big toes and even your pinky toes pressing down. Here it is. Breath in and out. Press through your pointer fingers, feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Big toes down. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Start to take the time to really create the breath that you want throughout your whole practice. Steady inhale. Long exhale. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Breathe in, sit low. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Shoulders back. Down dog. Right side, warrior 1. Inhale as you lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Upward facing dog. And into downward facing dog. Left side, warrior 1. Press through the big toe. Chaturanga. Hands back down. Upward facing dog. Through to downward facing dog. Now take your breath in here. Sigh it out. Just like that. In. Long exhale. 1 more time. Breathe in. Let it go. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Long side body. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Flow through. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Right side, warrior 1. Low in that lunge. Lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side, warrior 1. Long in those side bodies. Reach the whole way up. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog when you get there. And into downward facing dog. Ooh. You guys are doing a great job this morning with your breath and with the pace. Here we go. We're going to take it 2 more times. Inhale. All the breath out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Sit nice and low. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Listen to your breath. Up dog. Down dog. Right side warrior 1. See what you see. Chaturanga. Up dog. Drishti. Down dog. Left side warrior 1. Feel what you feel. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take the time to notice your breath, the sounds of it and the way that it feels. And while you're practicing with more people in the room, if that's there for you, listen to their breath as well. One more time. We're going to breathe in. Let it go. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Right side warrior 1. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior 1. Chaturanga. Up dog. Through to down dog. So one of the things that I love about a personal practice or a home practice is this opportunity to listen to your breath. From here, we're going to reach your right leg up into the air. Now bend your top knee, open up your hip, flip dog. However that is for you. We're going to look to draw your shoulder blades together and in turn, open up your chest. See if you can feel yourself pulling the air into your lowest lungs. That's it. 3 more breaths to explore the full extent of the pose. Here it is. Last one. And then flip it over. High plank into side plank. Now we have a whole bunch of variations for this. We're going to do the one bottom foot out in front of you. So right leg. Yep, that's the right leg, the bottom one. That one's going to go out. Yes, this one. Now from here, you're going to look to lift that foot up. I'm actually going to have you take your top hand, press it down against this knee. Yeah, and you're going to feel your whole side body is suddenly like, oh yeah, we're doing all the work here. Keep lifting up. One more breath, you have it. Chaturanga. I love saying that, chaturanga. Up dog. And into down dog. I think it's the best one of the whole practice. Bring your left leg into the air. Now bend your top knee, open up your hip, flip dog. Breath, that's all there is to this. Just like that. Pressing your heels into the mat to lift your hips even higher. Take it 1 more inch. Yes, you have this. Draw those shoulder blades together, all the space. Flip it over, high plank. Side plank. Now it's the left leg that's going to come up. So you can picture it like knee into your chest. Now top hand is going to press down against this knee. That's it. We're going to hold here for 5, 4. You have it. 3, 2, 1. Chaturanga. See, it's just the time in your practice where you're like, oh yeah, chaturanga is awesome. Go through up dog and into down dog. Right side crescent lunge. Go for width in your stance. If you know me in my classes, you know it's my favorite cue. So here we go. Lift those fingers towards the ceiling. Now, I want you to create this pulling sensation, like you're stretching apart the pulse. Let your hips drop down and your fingertips lift up and maybe even back. See if you can pull your side body so that it's long and lean and sturdy. That's what we're going for here. Strength. 2 more breaths. Sit low. Feel the whole pose. Here it is. Hands to heart center. Now I get to twist to the right. You could choose hands closed or hands open. We're going to do 3 full breaths here so that in each exhale, you've got this opportunity to twist the pose a little bit deeper. That's it. Let it go. Last one in and out. On your inhale, rise up, take chair pose or crescent lunge, warrior 2. Right? It's kind of like chair pose, but just not. Okay, so low in the front knee. Like really low in your front knee. Like I could come and scoot a block right behind that front knee. Angela, you're up front already. So very sorry. Here it is. Scooch a little lower. Yeah, that's it. 90 degrees in that front leg. Looking great. Bring it down, extended side angle. Here you go. So when you get low into that lunge, suddenly you have the opportunity, press your back toes into the mat, and now wake this pose up by reaching through your top fingertips. As long as you can get the pose, here it is. Last breath in, reach, hands to the mat, chaturanga. Let's move through. Up dog. Down dog. Now you can take your sigh if you'd like to here. Also drink of water. And if you're ready, left side crescent lunge. We're going to create that lift. So let's do it through your fingertips this time. So you're going to lift this pose up until you get your arms fully engaged. That's it. You can come 2 inches lower into this lunge. Yeah, you have the space for it. Hug your front ribs in so that you can tilt your fingers back just 1 inch, looking 2 inches behind you. Here it is. It's the last breath. Go as far as you can. Hands to heart center, and then we'll twist to the left. All there is to this pose is drishti and breath, just like all the other ones. See if you can keep your gaze steady. It's not just where you're putting your attention for this pose, but also your intention. Bring your intention, aka your drishti, up to the ceiling for the last breath. All that good twist here. On your inhale, we'll rise up, take crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Good catch, Nancy. I saw that one. All right. Can you get to 90 degrees in your front leg? If I was wandering around with that block, oh yeah. Oh, see, suddenly you guys are all like, oh, I know where 90 degrees is. Extended side angle. Really great adjustments, you guys. All right, reach through those top fingers. See if you can get the full stretch of the pose. Just like that. 2 more breaths here. Last one in. Both hands down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. We're going to move through. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair right into it. Flowing with your breath. You know where chair pose is for you. Sit those hips down 1 more inch. I know you've got 1 more inch to give. Hands to heart center. Twist to the right. Now actively keep that left knee pulling backwards. You know you want to keep your hips level here. Last breath in. Stay for the exhale. Breathe in, rise up, chair pose. Fold. Feet wide on the mat. Let's do pointer fingers around your big toes. Let your head hang down. All of that good fold to be found here. Creating space in this fold. On your next breath in, rise up, take chair pose. Here you go, right back into the work of it. Using your weight in your heels. So you want to think about heels into the mat. And yes, all of your toes, lift them up right now. Now press your big toes down. That's the foundation. Hands to heart center, twist to the left. Here it is. Think about pressing evenly through those feet. You know what it felt like when you were in the middle. So can you keep that going on right now? Here it is. Sit 2 inches lower. I know you've got the space for it. 1 more breath. On your inhale, Rise up, chair pose. Fold. Feet wide on the mat, palms tuck underneath your toes. Let your head drop down. All right, we're gonna bring your hands onto the mat. If your hands don't quite comfortably fit down onto the mat, use 2 blocks underneath your palms. Does anybody need a second block in the studio? We're doing well? Okay, good stuff. From here, we're gonna be going through our toe taps. So let's start with the left foot today. You're gonna slide your toe out, lift it up off the ground, then slide it back to center, opposite side. Right foot slides out, lift it up and tap, slide it back. Keep going, side to side. Just like that with your breath for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That's it. Slow and controlled. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, yogis, feet wide. We're going for a goddess squat. Hands at heart center. Elbows to the insides of your knees. Nice and low in that goddess squat. Actively roll your shoulders backwards. I know. You can add a little rock from right to left here. Sometimes that can feel good. It's going to add intensity to one side of your hips, but decrease the intensity on the other. So back and forth just a smidge. We're going to take a wide-legged crow pose here. All right, so hands are going to go straight down onto the mat. Leave your feet out wide from crow, and then you can start to work with picking one or both of your toes up. Some people find this a little bit easier. Some people find it a little bit harder. Check it out. You've got it. For 5, 4. Nice controlled breaths. 3. Drishti is active. 2. Step it back. Chaturanga. We'll move through upward facing dog when you're ready. And into downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale. And move feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. On your inhale, roll to standing right side eagle. Right arm is going to wrap under. And right leg wraps over. Nice and low into this pose. Big toe is going to press down into the mat like you're trying to melt it through your mat. Inhale, step out. Left side. Left arm under. Left leg over. This is really the warm-up round. This is the warm-up pose for all of equanimity, so get it right here. Foundation is what you're looking for. Big toe down. Bottom leg is bent. Inhale, step out. Right arm under, right leg over. Now we're going to start working with the poses. You know what your foundation and your balance feels like today, so you're ready to move here. Slowly, elbows come to meet your knees. Jill, I love that you knew where we were going with this. Once you pause with your elbows at your knees, keep your arms wrapped. We're going to go for airplane legs. That's it. So straight back. Yes. Drop your right hip down 1 inch. It's going to keep your hips in line. Good adjustment. Warrior 3. Both hands are going to come straight out in front of you. Think about this pose with your low belly hugging up and into your low back. It's the only way you're not going to get that pinching sensation here. That's it. Like you're pressing up right through here. Standing splits. So hands are going to come down towards your ankle. Yep, right foot still on the mat. And then you lift the opposite one up. Yeah, just check it out. See what space you can create there. Sometimes you can wrap 1 arm or 2 arms around that bottom leg to get a little bit more space. Here we go. Last breath. Lift it the whole way. Feet down. Okay, you can shake out your hips, do what you need to. And on your next inhale, we'll rise up to standing. And then we get to set it up on the left side. So you know where you're going now. Left arm wraps under, left leg wraps over. Now, the nice thing about this set of poses is that you can maintain relatively the same drishti point. If you start with your eyes on the ground, you can usually leave them there. Pick your drishti point, and now we'll move. Elbows to knees, slow and controlled. Use all those belly muscles to get there. Pause. Airplane legs. Yep. Every time you fall out, we're just going to connect to the poses again. Get right back into them. Here it is. Lift long. Warrior 3. Hands out in front of you. I want you to think about your low belly hugging up and now your front ribs hugging together. It's how you support your spine here. Standing splits. Hands come down. Leg goes up behind you. Yep. Kick it as high as you've got. Press that heel up and back. One more breath. All right, feet down. Shake out your hips. Do what you need to. Forward fold here or rise to standing. Yeah, we can take a little fold. You can take a drink of water, whatever it is that you need. On your inhale, when you're ready, we're going to come all the way up. Let's take dancer. So right hand spirals out. You guys know the drill. Soft part of your elbow facing out to grab your inner ankle. That's it. Now, I like to think about this pose like I'm drawing a bowstring. Think about adding the tension from your front palm all the way to your back shin. Like you're an arrow about to shoot out of this pose. We want that sort of tension here. Reaching from side to side in your body, this interconnectivity to create the pose and switch. Left side. Roll that shoulder back, inner ankle. Now, you've got the bow stretched side to side, right? Now, press your bottom toe into the mat and press your top toe up towards the ceiling. We're creating a side-to-side stretch here, almost like you're getting tall. Here it is. Last breath, feet down. Right side. I love that you get to do this pose again. So right hand back and second set. So the nice part about this second set is that you know how your body feels here. You've already done this pose once today. So now move to the edge. You might have given yourself a few breaths last time to get there, but go straight to the edge of the pose and then stay. What you'll find is that maybe you can maintain this edge for another breath or two. Maybe you can draw it out 1 inch bigger. Last breath, feet down. Swap sides. Last side, left side, dancer. Drishti and Ujjayi. Your gaze and your breath is all that you need to complete any of the poses. Here it is. Feet down. All right. Tree pose, head of your mat. However you'd like to do tree, you can do it that way today. Press down, hands at heart center, or lift up. I'm going to ask you in tree pose, bring your drishti up to the ceiling. Doesn't matter where your hands are. You can do this variation no matter what. Hug in through your front ribs. I know, up to the ceiling can make a whole change in this pose. Now, if that's feeling pretty good, let's bring your eyes back 1 inch. So you're adding this little tiny mini back bend here. Last breath, swap it out. Left side. So back when you used to really be able to pack people in a yoga class because we didn't have the little mat squares, you could put people's mats side to side. You can actually connect this pose with your neighbors and create a big back bend that way. It's just the interconnectivity of those poses. See if you can press down, lift up, and give me a little bit of back bend here. Try it out. Just one breath. Feet down. Okay, now we get to start the practice again. So come to the head of your mat. We're starting it as brand new. Inhale, take extended mountain. From here, we're going to cross the right leg over. Bending your front knee. On your exhale, fold forwards. Keep moving with your breath. Deep inhales to full exhales. Front knee bending, back knee stays straight to get the full sciatic nerve stretch. You're looking for activity from your back heel all the way up to the top of your hip. Take 2 more breaths here. Active with the Ujjayi so that you get the full extent of the pose. On your next inhale, rise all the way up to standing, and then we're going to swap sides. Left foot comes out in front. Back knee is going to stay straight as the front one folds on your exhale. 4 breaths here. Checking out that you're using your blocks as you need them. If you've got a little bit of feedback in this pose, but you need to add more, you can pop your hip out towards the side. It's going to add a little extra oomph here. Last breath. On your inhale, rise up to standing. It's easy. We're going to take side facing, wide-legged forward fold. You could choose any direction on your mat to go for this. So feet out wide, facing the long ends of your mat. Let's go for a bind this morning. Fingertips interlaced. Fold all the way down. As you're taking your bind here, you're going to let your fingertips drop towards the right side of your mat. Look over towards your left toes. You're adding this little tiny bit of twist here. I know, even while your fingertips are bound. It doesn't look like a whole lot of twist when you're just doing this. Shoulders really are facing towards that one foot. And your hands are dropping the opposite direction. But it does do a little something. One more breath on this side. And then we'll switch to the other side. Looking to your opposite foot, letting your hands fall away from that foot. Shoulders twisting towards it. Take one more long breath in and a full breath out. On your inhale, we'll rise up to standing. And let's go for a runner's lunge this morning. So face the front end of your mat. Whichever foot is forwards, just take note of that, and we'll take a runner's lunge. So it might be your front foot or your left foot or your right foot. It's fine to start with either one. Yeah, so as you're coming down in the runner's lunge, hands to the inside of your foot. Knee can either stay raised off of the ground or you can sit it down onto the mat. Check it out. You might have a little bit more space than what you think. You can bring your forearms down either to a block or to the ground. Steady with your Ujjayi breath. One more time. And then we're going to bring a twist to this pose. So if you're on your forearms, come back up onto your palms. You're going to take the hand that's closest to your bent knee and bring a Barbie C-shaped hand, or otherwise known as a Lego hand or an assisting hand, to your thigh. When you do this, you're going to think about rotating the muscle and rotating your fingers to the outside of your thigh. Note that we're not pressing on your knee here. And you add the twist. You can look literally directly behind you at your heel. Take another breath in. Exhale, twist. Last one in. Exhale, all that good twist. And we'll bring our hands back to the mat. Move through to downward facing dog. You can get in a full vinyasa here or just the whole way to downward facing. We'll take the opposite side runner's lunge. That's it. So whichever foot you didn't do, that one's now coming to the front of your mat. Hands to the inside of this foot. Back knee stays up or down. Press your the bent knee, so the front knee, into your arm. This is going to help you keep alignment from your head all the way back to your heel. You can come down onto your forearms if you've got the space for it. Keep breathing. One more. And then we'll add the twist. Take your assisting hand, looks like a little C, place it onto your thigh. You want to think about rotating your quad muscle out and towards the side to aid you in a little bit of this twist. Think about pressing your knuckles of your fingers down into your thigh to aid that rotation. 2 more breaths here. In, twist. Once more, inhale. Stay for all that good twist in the exhale. Hands down, chaturanga. We'll move all the way through to a downward facing dog. So through your up dog and into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, roll into a high plank. Now, since we've been talking about inversions, we are going to do my absolute favorite set of inversion works here. So bring your knees onto the ground. You're going to need a block for this. For my yogis at home, a water bottle, a sizable book, anything like that will work. All right, yogis, blocks in between your shins. You can choose to do this pose with your knees down. That will be effective here. The main point is hugging into the block. Now, if you're ready for the next step up, you're going to place the tops of your feet onto the mat, hugging into the block, lift into a plank. Now, no matter where you are here, plank and hold, lifting that belly button up. Here it is. We're going to count it out for 10, 9, 8. Hug into center. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, knees down. Let's remove the blocks for this one. So you get to choose. We're going to do it either in this little knees picking up, I don't know what to call this, like a crunch position, or you can do this in your plank. Again, tops of the feet onto the mat. We're going for toe taps here. So 1 tap out to the side, tap on the other side. Nice and light on the taps. Going back and forth for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and knees down. All right, the final version of this. Now we're going to be taking this with the little bear crawl stance in mind. So toes tucked under, knees are floating just 1 inch off the ground. Now what you're going for is a very light tap here. So right foot comes up, gently tap it over to the side. Left foot comes up, gently tap it to the other side. As slow as you can go will help you with the control here in your core. We're going to go back and forth for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, nice. All the way onto the ground for locust pose. Belly's onto the mat, laying long. That's it. Take a reset breath here. Just a big inhale, followed by an exhale. Let's go for locust pose. However you like locust. Ready, set, go. Press down, lift up, inhale, locust. That's it. 5, 4. Shoulders roll back. 3, 2, 1. Down. 1 ear onto the mat. Reset. On your next breath in, we're going to come up, locust pose, round 2. That's it. Shoulders active, belly's active. Here it is. 5, 4, 3. Breathe. Keep breathing. More breath. All right, 1. All the way down. You can tuck your knees side to side. Let's come to floor bow. We're going to do 1 floor bow, but we're going to do a 10 count in it. So at count number 5, you can switch sides if you prefer to do half bow. But are you ready? Set, go. Press down, lift up, inhale. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, all right, all the way down. I have to admit, I don't think I've counted like that since I was in primary school. Good throwback. Hands by your low ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back as you come up. Downward facing dog. Let's take a breath in. Exhale. We're going to come through seated position. You can step, walk, hop, however you want to get there, all the way onto your spine. I'm going to warn you now. We're doing 2 bridge poses as a warm-up for 3 bridges or wheels. You get to do this however you want to. Here we go. Bridge 1. Press down, lift up, inhale. Get your shoulders set up. Get the foundation of this pose set up so that when you're ready, hips come back down onto the mat, knees side to side. Set. Number 2, press down, lift up, bridge. This is the last pose that you'll have before the wheel options. So whatever you need right now, get it out and bring your hips back down. All right, here it is. 3 bridges, 3 wheels. Yogi, are you ready? Set, go. Press down, lift up, inhale, bridge or wheel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips down. Reset breath on the mat. In and out. Press down, lift up, inhale, round 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chins tucked, come back down. Inhale. Exhale, round 3. Press down, lift up, let's move, bridge or wheel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way back down into Supta Baddha Konasana with one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Connect with your breath. Take happy baby. Hands by the outer edges of your feet with a little rock from right to left. Think about pulling your lowest back down onto the mat here. It's actually your sacrum. On your next inhale, both heels are going to come straight up towards the ceiling. Now, take what you could use as your handstand hands and press them beside your hips. So you're going to be curling your head and chest just a little bit off of the floor. On your exhales, we're going to press these handstand hands down, lift up, inhale, come back. Exhale, press up, inhale, come back. Just like that, back and forth using your breath for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, nice. Keep those feet up in the air. You've got it. From here, lower your feet about 15 degrees. So they should be just far enough that you can feel your belly is on, but it's not on max. This is going to be home base for this pose, all right? On your exhale, drop your right foot down. Inhale, bring it back up to parallel. Exhale, left foot down. Inhale, right back up. Keep going back and forth at your own pace. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, knees into your chest. Take a full breath in. Exhale. Go for yogi bicycles. Fingertips behind your ears. We're going to go slow for this. So here it is. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, stay. Exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. The slower you go, the better these are. Exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Nice and slow. Here it is. 20, 19, 18. Go with your breath. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, feet flexed, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, knees into your chest and we'll rock head to toe. When you're ready, we'll make our way into right side half pigeon. However you would like to get there. Using your props, your blocks. Breathe. Bye, Greg. On your next breath, come through downward facing dog and switch sides. Keep your drishti and your ujjayi present even as you switch into this next side. You're using your breath and you're using your attention here to really stay present to this pose. That means actually taking the time to feel what's going on in your body. Look to stick with the facts of the pose. I'm getting a lot of feedback from my hip today. I'm able to support myself. I feel my fingers pressing against the mat. Facts, stick with facts. And sometimes when you're looking for facts, you might end up down a little rabbit hole of story. I'm getting a lot of feedback in my knee today. Maybe that means that my knee's not very good. It's feeling kind of shitty. Oh my God, what am I going to do the rest of the day? What if my knee hurts then? None of that. Go back to fact. Each time you see yourself get caught up in your story about what's going on, about the physical reality of the pose, bring your attention back to your breath. It's the home base for the practice. Just like downward facing dog or child's pose. When you need a little break, you need to come back to center. You come back to breath. Take a final breath. Weight into your left hip. Swing your right leg around. We're going to come to seated forward fold. So both legs out in front of you. Inhale, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold towards your toes. Now, everybody wants to go for the ragdoll version of the fold here anyways. I know shoulders back is much less fun. So let yourself take this C-shaped position with your belly, letting your head drop down. This is actually going to give you a little bit more softness in the back of your knees, and you might find that there's a slightly different fold here. The muscles that you stretch are actually different when you do this variation of the fold as opposed to when you keep your shoulders back. On your next inhale, we're going to come all the way up. And then we'll take tabletop. Fingertips facing your heels. Press your heels into the mat. Hips come up. Head drops backwards. Tabletop or reverse plank. Just like that. Create a little bit of space in your hips. All the way up. And then bring your hips back down. Fish. You can take fish with a block between your shoulder blades, aka at your thoracic spine. Or you can do it with your forearms pressing down onto the mat. Whichever variation it is, we're looking for a little elevation in your chest. When you're ready, rock off onto your right side. We'll come to shoulder stand, waterfall, or any other upside down variation that you'd like to try on this morning. No matter where you're at, active with your heels pressing towards the ceiling, active with your low belly. Shoulder stands can come to plow. My headstands can come down into a child's pose. And for everybody, we're going to make our way off of our blocks or back down onto our mat for supine twist. Let's do it this way today. Hug your right knee into your chest with your left leg long. Drop your right knee over to the left side of your body. You can land this knee onto a block. Eyes are going to look over your right shoulder. So this is just still supine twist, a simple twist. I like this variation because I find that it's a little bit deeper in the twisting. On your exhale, let your shoulders melt down towards the mat. On your next inhale, we'll swap to the opposite side. Right leg goes long this time. Left knee hugs into center. Twist the opposite direction. Breathe and go for the full twist. Hug your knees up into your chest. Let's take Shavasana, letting your legs go long. There's a cold eye towel for my yogis in the studio by the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Please feel free to take it. Let your whole body find this sense of stillness, of being supported by the ground underneath of you. With each exhale, feel your shoulders melt down onto the mat. Let your elbows rest heavy. Let the backs of your hands sit heavy on the ground. Find a sense of centering. Finding centering in your body can feel like coming back to home, like walking down a familiar path. It's this deep sense of self, not in a selfish way, but in a fulfilling and loving way. Take a moment to acknowledge this self. To acknowledge the person that you are today. For this particular group of yogis. For the type of person that's willing to take time out of their morning to not only show up for themselves, but to show up for the other people around them. To show up because you know it makes you a better family member, a better co-worker, a better person. When you take the time out of your day to create self, to acknowledge self. On your next inhale, start to bring movement back to your fingers and back to your toes. When you're ready, interlace your fingers, press them up overhead, take like a full body yawn. Inhale and stretch long. Exhale and release down onto the mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock onto your right side, forehead on the floor. With your next breath in, rise up to a seated position. Reach your fingertips up to the ceiling, creating a super long spine for yourself. Sits bones pressing down into the mat. Hands drop to heart center. We'll close class with one Om. Take your breath in. Bring your thumb knuckles up to forehead center. Together we bow our heads and we say, Namaste. Thanks, yogis. It was great to see you this morning. Thank you for coming. And if you're interested in the inversion workshop, whether you're going to join online or you'd like to be here in the studio, I would check that out now. I know that it's already filling up. We only have so much wall space in the studio, which I know seems like a wild thing to say considering how large it is here. But there are places where you can kick up into a handstand here. As it turns out, sound muffling things actually don't love to be kicked. There's a reason, thank God we had a teacher make these. Harold, by the way, he is our handyman. If you see something that's broken in the studio, Harold is the person who fixes it for us, for the most part. But he made them so they move just a little bit, because I can't tell you the number of times that I've seen somebody kick one of these things already.